guys, how's it going? Just checking in here because I'm at my, well, I had a long day, been meeting, lots of driving, and I'm now at like a summer party for work, and it's been fun, but it's raining. I've just had a little check, and I'm about 30 minutes away from a Grosvenor, and I think they've got a 1-2 game on. Should I go and play some poker?
Yeah, go on.
You aren't sure? Yes! Yeah! Hopefully, we'll check back with you in a second and we'll be playing some poker. See you in a bit. So, quick update, we're here, we're playing. They've said that I'm not allowed to record, so I'm just trying to secretly record on my phone.
Snoop Dogg!
So yeah, that's the plan at the moment. I'll play a few hands so far, nothing's really happened. Done about 15 quid, stacked for 300. But yeah, so there might be a little bit less footage, but I'm going to still try and pick up some sort of big hands and key hands. So yeah, I'm going to get back to the table and... What'd you get for the minute? Update. Had about an hour now and not played a hand, so maybe you've seen a super cut of all the trash that I've been dealt so far. Playing poker Friday the 13th, maybe not the best idea, however, it's Friday the 13th for everyone, right? Crazy, yeah. Person immediately to my right, can't miss. Full house, full house, full house. And yeah, I can't even hit start now. So, hopefully you'll see some proper hands shortly. But yeah, I just want to give you a quick update. Sometimes it goes like this, you know what I mean? But yeah, we'll grind. Right guys, we're finally playing some poker. It's been about 2 hours so far and I haven't shown you a hand yet, it's been that bad. But we looked down at Ace Queen of Hearts, beautiful starting hand. As you notice, I looked at it twice, just to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. We're in the cutoff and it folds all the way around to the hijack, who makes it £6. I instantly do a free bet here, it's a small size into £16. Don't want to bloat the pot too much, but very strong hand. Want to make sure we go to a flop, ideally heads up. It works as the button small blind and big blind fold, and so it goes all the way back around to the hijack, who does make the call. We then go to the flop and it comes down quite nicely actually, in fact very nice for my hand. It comes down 5-5-3 with 2 hearts. She quickly checks, really simple c-bet here, so I bet £15. She actually snap folds, so I'm sort of putting on her on Broadway hand, Jack Queen, King Jack perhaps. So yeah, nothing much to the hand really, but I wanted to put it in because, as I said, it was the first playable hand that I picked up so far, and hopefully this will allow us to build some momentum moving into the session. Always nice to show the hand when I first pull some chips my way. A little bit of time has passed, we're on the button, and as we get dealt, we look down at pocket 8, Snowman, which is always a nice hand, especially in late position. There's a couple of limpers, and then comes round to myself, and I make it 13, so sizing up slightly to my standard raising because of the couple of limpers there. I've been making it sort of 6 or 7 with my standard raises, so always increasing it slightly. And then it seems that everyone, their mums and their dogs all make the call. So the small blind, the big blind, under the gun,
and the middle position player all called £13, which is just what we want to see with a middling pocket pair. But hey ho, that's what happens. So we're now going to a massively bloated flop with a mediocre hand. Let's hope we can flop a set and make this nice and easy on us. However, we come to the flop and it is Ace Deuce 7 with 2 diamonds. Interesting turn of events here is Under the Gun just straight up bonks 20 quid into the pot. He was a good player as well, so could have been a few bits here. Now, I'm not saying I'm definitely behind at this point, but I just don't really know what I'm meant to do, especially if I call the £20 here. I doubt he's slowing down on the turn or river, so I'm going to have to keep playing and probably call some big bets with a very mediocre hand. He could have an ace, he could have just a diamond draw, and it does end up folding around. He shows the 2 of diamonds. So in my head, I'm thinking probably Queen 2, King 2 of diamonds, something like that, where if he misses the flop, he can just fold cheaply. But going sort of multi-way there, it's a good hand to come and see a flop with. So yeah, I'm assuming sort of, I'm literally putting it on King 2 of diamonds there. So pair and a flush draw on that flop, 6 to 20 quid, and finds out where he's at. So I'm actually happy with folding, even though technically I'm ahead. With the 8s, because like I say, I'm not sure how I would deal with the pressure that he could apply on both the turn and river with such a hand. And of course, if the 8 of diamonds comes, then I'm in a world of pain and probably losing my stack.
I don't know how it works. Is that good?
Okay, so a bit of time has passed and we are back round and again and on the button. It's been quite nice because all the hands I've picked up so far have been in late position, which of course makes them slightly easier to play. This time we look down at King Jack of Hearts. Again, very nice looking hand, and the cut-off has made it £6. We decided to just flat here. We don't really want to bloat the pot with what is a mediocre hand. Some people go nuts with hands like this, but it is just King Jack, okay? This can get you in a lot of trouble. Of course, being suited does make it nicer. But instantly, the small blind says, to hell with that, and makes it 25 quid. I'm ready to fold here straight away. He's obviously got a very strong hand. However, the cut-off actually decides to make the call for the 25, which then increases my pot odds. To a point where I then decide, after sort of tanking for a while, that it's actually probably the right decision to make a call here. Of course, if it comes down a nice flop, favourable, you know, a couple of hearts, perhaps a straight draw, that kind of thing, then, you know, we could potentially win a big one. And of course, straight away with, you know, 53 quid out there instantly, yeah, it just seems like a really good spot to call in position, go to a flop 3 ways and see where we're at. So after he calls 25, I throw in the call as well. And off we are to the flop. The flop comes down pretty nice. It comes down 8, 9, Jack, Rainbow. It quickly checks around here. So instantly I'm putting the 3-better pre-flop on Ace King, Ace Queen. And I'm assuming the cut-off on some sort of small pocket pair. The turn is a 6. So again, no real danger here unless the guy's picked up a set. However, he just folds instantly, which is always useful to know bet. I fire out £21 to find out what's going on. The initial 3-better pre-flop does think about it for a moment. Looks like he's about to fold, so I actually call his hand out. I say Ace King, trying to get him to call, and he says yes it is, but then does of course fold. So again, nothing too exciting here, but nice way to take down quite a nice size pot, again without too much challenge. On to the next one, and we are in the small blind for this one, so out of position, and as we peel our cards here, we look down and see King 4 of diamonds. I quite like hands like these. They're nice hands if you get a little bit of equity sort of pre-flop, you know, pot odds to just go to a flop if it's cheap enough. Under the Gun +1 makes it £6 pre. The button calls, I call, and the big blind also calls as well. Lovely flop here, which comes down 4, 3, 4, so instantly flop trips. I check, big blind checks, initial raiser checks, and the button checks as well, so we all check round on this flop. It brings the turn card, which is another 4. Again, it goes check check, and he bets £11. That's the initial raiser. Button calls, I call, and the big blind folds. This brings us to the river card, which is the king. A little bit of overkill here in my first instance, as I've got quads and the pair to go along with it. I tanked for a while on this river bet. what most recreational players do here when obviously having quads on the river. They don't want to miss out on value, so they just instantly donk. I decided to check to allow any bluffs to bluff, anyone that may have picked up a king on the river to bet as well. Luckily it works, as the initial raiser makes it £30. I take my time again. I'm trying to work out the sizing of what I can get to call. I'm sort of playing my hand pretty face up. It's very, very difficult to bluff in this spot, so it is either a king or a 4. I eventually decide on a sizing of 150. So that's what we do. So we grab a stack, raise to 150, putting my opponent here in a really, really tough spot. Really nice guy, actually subscribed to the vlog, so thanks. And he actually calls out, he says you all must have a 4 here. Like I say, it's pretty face up really. There's not many bluffs. Now in this spot, you know, I'm quite chatty at a table. I like to talk, but when it's not my action, I don't talk. I like to stay nice and quiet. Don't want to give anything away whatsoever. And eventually he does flick in a call and asks, have you got a 4? And obviously I'll turn it over straight away. I think this is only the 3rd time in my life I've ever had quads, and this is the 1st time I've actually really been paid on it. So yeah, comfortably the biggest part of the night here. Really nice spot to arrive in, and quite lucky with the river card in the end. I thought it was overkill for myself, but it actually turned out my opponent did have the king, which is of course why he ended up making the call. Really difficult spot, really hard to fold a hand that strong in that position, especially with the way the action was. So I guess checking the flop, checking the turn and checking the river got me paid the maximum here. If I bet the river card, you know, say I bet 40 or 50 quid, he can just call it off. So I think playing it this way was in the end perfect for winning the maximum. On to the next hand here, and we look down at ace-3 of clubs on the button. Again, lovely hand to pick up, especially in late position. Under the gun makes it £6. The cut-off calls, I call, and then the big blind calls as well. So we're going 4 ways to a flop, which comes down ace, 8, 9, rainbow. It checks around to me, so I instantly decide to bet, and I make it just a small one here, £8, and the initial pre-flop raiser does come along for a call. Everybody else does fold. The turn comes down a 5, and it goes check. So just, you know, a little bit of pot control. Of course, a straight draw does come in as well. Let's see what happens on the river. He instantly checks the river as well when it actually is a board pair and 8. I think my hand's good enough here to bet. Maybe he's got some sort of pocket pair that's not hit. So I bet 12, just trying to get some sort of thin value from, like say, a weaker holding. But he does end up just snap folding. So again, nothing too exciting here. Just taking down another little small one without too much difficulty. And on to the last hand of the night here. We're playing 5-handed, and I wake up with the mighty 3-5 of clubs under the gun. I raise to £7, and it folds round to the big blind, who does end up defending. It goes to a flop of king jack 10. He checks, and I bet £8, and he snap folds. It's just a little quick one I wanted to show you, just to show the importance of betting your range. Obviously, you know, that flop absolutely smashes my range when I raise pre-flop. So yeah, bet your range, and often or not, that'll be enough. Really small part, but again, just a quick and easy way just to demonstrate how picking up these small pots are really important when you're trying to build a stack over a whole session. Hi guys, sorry for the lack of check-ins. I finally started sort of hitting some hands, playing some cards, which is good. So actually had a really good night and really good fun table. Sort of loosened up a bit, and we started having a good chat and stuff. And all 5 of the guys I was playing with in the end actually subscribed to the channel. So thanks lads, I really appreciate it. And it was yeah, really good fun playing with you all, so appreciate that. As you can see, a couple of big pots in the end. Obviously the quads was the biggest pot of the day. Very nice. I've only hit quads like 4 times in my entire life. So that's quite nice to happen. It's also currently qualifying for a high hand jackpot the casino does, which could get me a ticket into the Goliath, which we're already going to be playing. I think it's August time, but this will just mean that I don't have to buy into it. So first bullet's free, which would obviously be very good. It's worth about 200 quid. So that'd be quite nice if that holds. So I'll find out next week. Yeah, so the results, really good session in the end. In for 300, out for 550. So nice profit of 250 quid. So that's pretty good. We played for, I don't even know what the time is. So yeah, played for a few hours. I think I got here at about 10:30. It's now 10:02, but I finished at about 1:30, so about 3-hour session. First hour was literally card dead, just fall, just nothing happened at all. Then, like I say, finally picked up a few hands. So yeah, good session. I'm now going to drive back to the hotel. It's about half an hour away, and then I've got to get up pretty early, head home. Cause then got to take the wifey out for her birthday. So doing a couple of good things, a couple of nice bits, which will be good. And yeah, hopefully it won't be as long between this and the next vlog. So thanks all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the footage. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again soon. Take it easy, guys. Guys, it's now Wednesday, so the recording was actually done on Friday. It's now Wednesday, and I just wanted to give you a quick update because you may remember that I just mentioned, of course you remember, it was like seconds ago for you, that my hand, the quads, was currently qualifying for the high hand, one of the high hands of the week. And I just basically called the casino today to make sure, or to see if it had qualified still by the end of the week. And they let me know that it did, it held, which is obviously brilliant news. Basically means that I've got a seat already booked and paid for now into the Goliath. I believe it's in August. So yeah, pretty buzzing. It's a £200 seat, so obviously it's just a Brucey bonus really. We're already going to be playing the Goliath. But of course now it means that, well, at least bullet 1 is free, so maybe we'll get a little bit loosey-goosey with that one. So yeah, we'll see you at the Goliath, and it'll be Poker Dad taking down Goliath this year. Let's have it.